you guys feeling tonight? We're gonna sing some songs. I want to see you guys clapping and dancing along with us. Here we go. Close my eyes and colors fly. There's no hiding from your grace. I can't deny you're off of mine, and it's unrelenting chase. I was on the edge of deception, caught up in my own hesitation, until your love took over me. So I let go and I let love show me life like it's supposed to be. An oasis here awaits us, all the freedom I'll ever need. Now I'm alive. Oh la la, oh la la. When I let go, then I find life. Oh la la, oh la la. When I let go, then I find life. Hey. Sing la 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 la. The highway is calling me to a life unlike before. The Father's heart is beckoning, and I can't resist no more. Lead me in the ways of devotion. I don't wanna get caught in the motion. My heart is only for you, Lord. Come on. So I let go and I let love show me life like it's supposed to be. An oasis here awaits us, all the freedom I'll ever need. Now I'm alive. Oh la la, oh la la. When I let go, then I find life. Oh la la, oh la la. When I let go, then I find. Sing la 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 la. So I let go and I let love show me life like it's supposed to be. An oasis here awaits us, all the freedom I'll ever need. Now I'm alive. When I let go, then I find life. Here we go. When I let go, then I find life. Oh la la, when I let go, then I find life. Oh la la, oh la la, when I let go, then I find life. Yeah, you guys sound awesome. You can have a seat right where you are for a few minutes.
What is going on, everybody? How you doing?
Hello, hello, Tsunami and Ripple
Pretty
Effect.
awesome. Pretty awesome. Good to see everyone. We are so excited to be here, hanging out at Night of Worship.
It's awesome.
Pretty awesome. I had a pretty awesome day. Did you have an awesome day?
I did have a great day.
It was made so much better by the hamburgers and hot dogs we just had.
They were delicious.
They were awesome. So shout out to our chefs out there.
Yes, I think
I
that
wasn't
was-
back there tonight.
It was not Chef Swander.
Yes, Chef Swander wasn't back there, but it was good.
You guys, we're so excited that you're here tonight. And I mean, this summer has been really fun for SMSN. This is our last
Last one.
SMSN of the summer.
But we got to celebrate. We did Kona and kickball.
Yes.
We did water night.
Water night was my
Pretty
favorite
awesome.
night.
We
Anybody
had-
else like water night? Anyone? Okay, it was fun.
Yes, walking tacos Was that last week?
Which are what?
That was so
exactly?
weird. Walking tacos. They
It
were
was
good
like-
though. They were like nachos,
Yeah.
but they're good.
Nachos in a bag.
Fuse, which is always a highlight of our summer here. It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
It's just a great, great, great summer spent with you guys.
And I have to say, I loved just the way that I got to hop into a lot of the community groups this summer and get to know a lot of our students more, just hear your stories, what's going on in your life, how you're processing really who Jesus is, and to be a part of that. It's a real privilege. So I really loved that this summer with you guys.
Yeah, my favorite part of this summer was seeing our awesome volunteers and leaders spend time with you guys, hang out with you, and how passionate they were and how well they loved you guys all summer. Doing ministry is tough and it's hard, and especially sometimes for us because we don't get to see really exciting things happen all the time. So this summer, to see the way that our leaders engaged you guys was really encouraging to me spiritually and personally. And it motivated me for this school year, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
And you guys, tonight we're going to really celebrate all that we saw God do this summer in our midst. And we have a night of worship. And tonight we're going to get to hear some stories from some of you fellow students and leaders here in Tsunami and in Ripple Effect. And then
we're going to end the night with communion, which is pretty awesome. We don't do it a whole lot here in student ministries, but it's a way to remember what Jesus did for us and to remember that personally and just have a moment to reflect on how great that gift was that he made for us. There will be some directions on how that happens, and we'll explain it when it does. So don't freak out. You'll be okay. We'll get through it together. It'll be awesome.
Awesome.
But tonight we do have some Tsunamians here.
Tsunamians?
Some Tsunami peeps that want to share kind of what they've seen God doing this summer at SMSN.
Okay, so first, we're having one of my friends. I love this student so much. Her name is Nina, and she just finished 8th grade. She actually also started 9th grade yesterday, so obviously she's heading up to Ripple Effect. But I just want to have Nina come up here and just share a little bit for you guys. So Nina, can you just share really how you've seen God at work in your life and in the life of your friends over the summer?
Hi. I guess a way that I've seen God is being with our community groups, and after hearing the amazing talks about Into the Wild and being able to praise with both Ripple Effect and Tsunami, which has also been phenomenal, but just hearing all the new opinions, because usually I'm with my small group, who I love, hi guys, and it's, different, and it's a nice way to just get to talk to everybody and meet new people that you may have not been able to really talk to during Tsunami.
That's awesome, Nina. And tell me, you shared with me a little bit earlier, but you loved worship, being able to worship together. And were you encouraged by seeing so many students of different ages just worshiping?
Yes, and there's one song in particular, Who You Say I Am, I think, by Hillsong United, and that song, I feel like that's really been kind of my motive throughout this past summer and starting this school year, and hearing actually listening to the words of that and hearing how God loves us no matter what and how he really just gave his life for us.
That's awesome, Nina. Thank you so much for sharing. We love you, Nina.
Awesome. So next we're going to hear from Logan. Logan, if you want to come on up, let's give it up for Logan. Logan is finishing his second year as a small group leader.
Yes, this is the end of my second year, 7th grade small group leader. We're headed to 8th grade next year.
Awesome.
Woo, woo.
Pretty sweet.
Well,
So how have you seen God work this summer in your life, personally?
Well, personally in my life, I just want to first off say this was my second trip to Fuse. I got to go last year, and I was super lucky to be able to go again this year. And I could speak pretty much for all the leaders, I feel like, that we show up here not only to try to pour in you guys' lives and show you the love of Christ, but we also get a lot out of this as well in our walks personally. So showing up to Tsunami and being able to volunteer at Fuse, it does so much for me being able to see you guys worship. It makes me excited, and it makes me want to work that much harder and to be a good leader so I can be there for you guys. So I love the fact that I can come here and I can help out and just be a part of this organization, that's Tsunami and Ripple Effect. And yeah.
Awesome.
It's an awesome picture of what we believe in our student ministries, that you guys as middle school students and high school students have the power to impact your culture and the people around you. And you guys
Amen
are
to
doing that
that.
to your leaders, and that's an awesome, awesome thing. So thank you, Logan.
Awesome.
Cool, thanks,
for
guys.
sharing.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, that's just a small picture. That's just a small picture of what God has been doing in the lives of you guys. We hear stories all the time of just neat things that have happened in your small groups, at Fuse, at SMSN, and the conversations you guys are having, and it is awesome. But let's celebrate that a little bit more
Yes.
with some worship. If you guys want to stand back up.
Stand up.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, and now revealed that you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. Come on, you sing. What a the name and what a beautiful name. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. You didn't want heaven without us. So Jesus, you brought heaven down. My sin was great, your love was greater. So what could separate us? And now, what a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. And nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. So we celebrate this truth, 'cause death could not hold you. Yeah, the veil tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring, the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life, hallelujah. 'Cause you have no rival, you have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign. Yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a powerful name it is. And nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. change everything. You are changing us, and chains fall, fear bow here and now. Come on, you sing Jesus. I believe that's true right here. Healed, hope found here and now. You say, and chains fall, fear bow here and now. In Jesus, you change everything. Lives healed, hope is found right here, right now. In Jesus, you change Come on, let's declare together. Here we go. And chains fall, fear bow here and now. In Jesus, you change everything. And lives healed, hope found right here, right now. In Jesus, you change everything. Let's celebrate that truth.
It's because of that truth that we just heard, that Jesus changes everything. He came and paid the price so we can come before him as we are. So let's continue to be in that mindset as we worship together. Feel free to lift your hands, lift your voices. Let's worship our Creator tonight. Oh, how I need your grace, more than my words can say. So Jesus, I come. Jesus, I come. In all my weaknesses, you are my confidence. So Jesus, I come. Jesus, I come. And I will rise, stand redeemed, heaven open over me. To your name, eternally, endless glory I will bring. Only to you. Just as I am, I come. Hallelujah. Oh, what amazing love. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Just as I am, I come. Hallelujah. Oh, what amazing love. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Just as I am, I come. Hallelujah. Oh, what amazing love. Yes, thank you, Jesus. Just as I am, I come. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, what amazing love. So I will rise, stand redeemed, heaven open over me. To your name, eternally, endless glory I will bring. And I will rise, stand redeemed, heaven open over me. To your name, eternally, endless glory I will bring. Yeah, as we continue to worship, you guys can have a seat just where you are for a few minutes.
Hey guys, it's so awesome to be here with you guys tonight worshiping and just celebrating what God is doing. And I love that about Ripple Effect and Tsunami is both on Sunday nights and on Wednesday night, whether it's in the house or whether it's here. We just get to celebrate what God is doing together, like corporately as high school students and middle school students. And that's so awesome to see. And tonight, it's not just with students, right, but parents are here too. And that's so cool to be a part of that and to see that. But while God's moving in our ministries, right, God's also moving in us personally. And we really want to celebrate those stories. And that's part of what we're doing here tonight, right, is celebrating our individual stories and what God is doing in our hearts. And we want to share more of that with you guys tonight. So I have 3 friends who are going to come kind of share about what God is doing in their lives. And the first is Natalie. You guys can all 3 step up here if you want. This is Natalie. Some of you guys might know Natalie.
Hi.
She's a junior. So I'm just going to let Natalie share a little bit about what God's been doing in her this summer.
Okay, so God has actually been doing so much with me this summer, and not just through Fuse, even though Fuse was a big part of it, but just throughout the whole progression of it. So starting, just like some backstory about me, starting from middle school, I've always been a Christ follower, well, all through my life because I'm a pastor's kid, but, sorry. But I've always had a relationship with God, but I never really knew about how to implement his purpose and his plan, because you always hear about it's God's plan, God has a plan for you, it's all going to work out, but I never really knew how much that really was true, and I never thought about it as much as I learned just during Fuse. And I learned that with the whole theme of illusion and how we use labels to define who we are, I found that the only labels that I really need to be listening to and putting on myself are the labels that God has gave for me. Because all the time, I feel like everybody can relate to this. Like, I've been thinking about who everybody says I'm not, instead of who God says I am. And I feel like that was just a huge point for me when I was like, I just need to give it up all to God. And instead of defining myself by all of these things that people are trying to get me to meet these standards, meet these expectations of not only like my personality, but how I look. And I feel like girls can relate to that, and guys too, can relate to that. But I feel like just I learned so much how to let go of all of these things, all these burdens that I was holding on to, even though I know that when you become a Christian, you're supposed to let go and give God everything, all of your pain and stuff. But I was holding on to so much of that because I didn't know how to. But now that I know that letting go is it's not this huge thing of, okay, you need to have a constant relationship with God, you need to be praying with him all the time, even though all of those things are good, but everybody's walk is so different. And I learned that my walk with God is every day just me keeping him on my mind and living out my faith through my day-to-day life, not just in church, in school, and everywhere. And taking all that what I learned from Fuse and pushing that towards the rest of my life, and not just at Fuse.
That's awesome. That's so good. Thank you, Natalie. What's up? And this is Will. He's a junior. He's another awesome
y'all
guy.
doing? Fuse, wow, I'm just so thankful for Fuse, because going in there, I knew my two leaders, Elliot and Dad Town, and I knew barely knew one kid in my small group, and going in there, didn't know any of their stories, didn't know anything about them, and then coming out of this week, I got to build relationships with all those guys and just get to know them on a totally, completely different level, and I gotta say, I really love the label talk, because that is something he basically explained it. He said, for y'all that weren't at Fuse, he said,
Are you about to preach?
yeah, about to preach. Well, he said the only person that has the right to put a label on something is an owner, and there's nobody that owns any of us in here but the Lord, and I really take that to heart. And I can't remember what night it was on, but it was the night that he just kind of let everybody stand up and just really admit that they had accepted the Lord into their hearts, and just seeing those kids stand up, it was really heartwarming and really overwhelming.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it was so good. So good. Thank you, Will. And this is Adam. And before Adam goes, can we just hear it for all our leaders, because they do an incredible job. And Adam's a freshman. No, I'm just kidding. Adam's one of our small group leaders. You want to tell them a little bit about your experience this summer?
Can you hear me? I miss being a freshman. I kind of had two things to talk about. It's mostly about my group, my guys, but one is watching everybody actually build a sense of community this summer, but the past couple of years, but especially at Fuse, we had our ridiculous stuff. We had someone convince me and Steve they had disappeared in the middle of the night. We had people duct taped into Enos, and the list goes on. And that's all really fun, but then we had a couple of nights where we actually talked about stuff that I never talked about till I was in college. Honestly, probably after college. Questions that I was afraid to ask were asked, and I didn't have perfect answers, but we had the conversations, and that's the reason we're here. It's been a great summer.
Awesome. Dude, thank you. I think it's so cool how sometimes it's the messing around and it's the having fun, and all that stuff is so important, and sometimes we discount it, but whenever it comes time to really grow in our walk, we're able to do that too. So I'm grateful for you guys, and I'm grateful for our leaders and everybody who's a part of what happens here. So the band's gonna keep playing, and we're gonna keep worshiping, and then later on we're gonna do communion. So you guys can stand back up and continue to worship.
If love endured that ancient cross, how precious is my Savior's blood. The beauty of heaven wrapped in my shame, the image of love upon death's frame.
having my heart was worth the pain. Joy could you see beyond the grave? Love found my soul worth dying for. How wonderful, how glorious, my Savior's scars, victorious. My chains are gone, my debt is paid. From death to life, and grace to grace.
If heaven now owns that vacant tomb, how great is the hope that lives in you. The passion that tore through hell like a road, the promise that rolled back death and its stone. If freedom is worth the life you raised, where is my sin? Where is my shame? If love paid it all to have my heart, how wonderful, how glorious. My Savior's scars, victorious. My chains are gone, my debt is paid. From death to life, and grace to When I see that cross, I see freedom. When I see that grave, I see Jesus. And from death to life, I will sing you praise and the wonder of your grace. When I see that cross, I see freedom. When I see that grave, I see Jesus. From death to life, I will sing you praise in the wonder of your grace. When I see debt is paid, from death to life, and grace to grace.
Yeah, there's so much power to that line that we just sang. We said from death to life and grace to grace. And I love that because I think that whenever Jesus sees us, the first thing that he sees is grace. He sees love. So even like the baggages that you have or the weight that you're holding on to or the shame maybe that you're feeling, I just want to encourage you that I think that Jesus sees grace. I believe that. I believe that he sees love. That's the first thing he sees. And when we believe that truth, we experience this beautiful freedom. And so tonight, we're going to take communion. And this is what I love. I love that as a body of, the church, that we're going to take it together. And we're going to celebrate that truth of what grace has done in our lives. And so whenever we take the bread and we take the cup, every time we do that, it's remembering Christ's body and his blood. So Christ's body, when he came to earth and human, he came and he lived this perfect life, but he was in flesh. But he still felt that pain, he felt that suffering, and he took on that weight and that shame. And then when we drink the cup, it's because of his blood, the blood that died on the cross for us, that at his very last breath, that there's this beautiful access to the Father. In Scripture, it says that Jesus says, you do this in remembrance of me. And I think this is a beautiful thing. I'm like, Jesus, you are just so sweet and so kind because you know how forgetful we are. I don't know about you, but I'm very forgetful about a lot of things. I don't remember what I did last year, this date. And he was so kind, and he was like, you know what? I want you to do this in remembrance of me. It is more of an outward expression of the faith that we have inwardly. But it's to do this in remembrance of him. To do this in remembrance of what he's done and what grace looks like in your life. So here's what's going to happen. I would love to encourage you guys that when you go get your the bread and the cup, there should be directions to where you're going to go, but you're going to go down the aisle. But here's what I want you guys to do. When you're walking down the aisle, I want you to quietly process. Think about that. What has Jesus done in my life? What does grace look like in my life? And when you gather the bread and the cup, I want you to come back to the seat. And I want you to sit at the seat, and I want you to think about that. I want you to remember. I want you to pray. I want you to encourage you to say thank you. And then when you've done that, to take the bread and the cup. There you go, right there. So go ahead, if you guys can, just go down the aisle and gather your things and come back and pray, and then we'll continue on.
treasure for the trader. No ear had heard, no eye had seen the image of the Father until heaven came to live with me. A rescue like no other. Sing, you are worthy. Yes, you are worthy of your name. Oh, you are worthy. Yeah. You are worthy of your name, my Jesus. Won't you stand and sing? You did not speak, you made no sound. You died for your accusers, and as your blood fell to the ground, you redefined our future. And on the day that you arose, oh, the darkness ran for cover. For the King of Kings has claimed his throne, and now until forever. Yes, you are worthy. You are worthy of your name. You are worthy. You are worthy of your name, my Jesus. We remember you. You're my author, my maker, my ransom, my savior, my refuge, and my hiding place. You're my helper, my healer, my blessed redeemer, my answer, my saving grace. Sing it out. You're my hope in the shadows, my strength in the battle, my anchor for all my days. And you stand by my side, you stood in my place. Jesus, no other name. Only Jesus, no other name. You are
everybody. So thank you so much for being in here tonight. A couple things to let you guys know about. First of all, my name is Brett. Hello, parents. If I have not met you, I am the director of the student ministry here, and we're so glad you guys have joined us tonight. First and foremost, let's say thank you to the band for leading us tonight. They did a great job. And what you need to know is that one band member has been here for hours and hours and hours on his birthday. It's actually his 30th birthday. 8/8/88, right there, Brian Davis. Yeah, so 30 today. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Just to let you guys know, this is it for SMSN for our summer. So here's what we're gearing up for the school year. If you are going to be in middle school still, or yeah, you wouldn't be rising middle schoolers unless you're cheating and you're here early. You guys kick off on August 29th. So 3 weeks from tonight, we are kicking off our school year for middle school for Tsunami, and we're getting ready to welcome a whole brand new group of 6th graders. So just prepare yourself for intense and angry, terrifying looks that you can give these 6th graders as they join our ministry. So we're really excited to welcome them on August 29th and to welcome you guys back on August 29th. Ripple Effect High School. Yeah. We are kicking off on September 9th for you guys. So that is the first time for the school year that we are going to be here as a ministry. But there are some things that are between now and then. First and foremost, Freshman Connect. And if you are a student or a parent, you need to make sure you grab one of these sheets out there for Ripple Effect so you know what's going on. But if you're a freshman, if you are going to be a freshman this year, we'd love to connect with you next Thursday in this room. Next Thursday, we're going to feed you dinner from 6 to 8 o'clock. We're going to hang out and get to know you and new leaders and get you connected to Ripple Effect. But we could not wait until September 9th. From now, that's like a month from now, to hang out with all of Ripple Effect. So we are doing an event 2 Wednesdays from now. It's August 22nd, I think is the date. Yeah, I've got that right. We're going to Jelly Beans. Like, we've rented it out. The entire ministry, high school ministry, like we have it to ourselves for 2 hours from 7 to 9. I can't wait to see Jeff on skates. And he has to use quads. So that's the deal for high school. So you guys know everything that is coming up for the school year. So glad you guys are here tonight. I'm going to close this in prayer, and when I'm done with that, we're going to dismiss you guys out to the lobby because we're going to cap the night off with some ice cream. So that's going to be out in the lobby. So let me pray. God, thank you so much for each and every student and leader and parent, volunteer that is in this room. Thank you for the summer you've allowed us to have with the various events we've been able to have where it's just simply been an opportunity for us to connect with each other and to connect with you. From water nights to Fuse to all the various things we've done here at SMSN to capping it off tonight with communion. And God, I pray that all of it is really just an offering to you of our ability to connect with each other and to learn about you and to learn what it looks like to live for you in this world. God, you've called us to be on mission for you. You've called us to be your servants and to be used by you to reach people around us. And I pray that as we go into this upcoming school year, we'll have the mindset of missionaries, that we'll have the mindset that each and every one of us is a minister of the gospel, that we have the opportunity to share your love to everyone around us as we go throughout our days. And we thank you for everything you're going to do in us and through us this upcoming school year and what you've done in us and through us this summer. And I pray all this in your name. Amen. All right, guys, feel free to go grab something to eat out in the lobby. Thank you guys so much for being here.